Thank you. Al Roker is tracking the storm. Al, what's the latest on
Okay,
this?
130 mile per hour winds, but it's moving a little faster now, moving northeast at 23 miles per hour, a Category 4 storm with tornado watches from the Carolinas down to the Keys. Some tornado warnings embedded in there as well. Landfall somewhere tonight between 8 and 11 p.m. And what we're looking at is that dangerous storm surge 10 to 20 feet from Apalachicola.
This area has not had a major hurricane hit in quite some time, and certainly nobody in recent memory has
46 million under flood alerts, 20 million at risk for tornadoes. And Helene's fury could turn trees into weapons.
Tom, what are you expecting there?
Lester, good evening. Some are calling this Tallahassee's most dangerous storm event ever. You can see the streets are empty right now. People are hunkering down. This is a massive storm affecting almost all of Florida, and right now on a collision course with millions of its residents.
These are desperate hours in the storm zone tonight, now 4 days after making landfall in Florida. The aftermath of Hurricane Helene still inflicting maximum pain. The death toll still rising. By an NBC News count, 121 people are now confirmed dead.
The mortality counts that you've seen in the tens are irresponsibly optimistic. Those are the people who've been identified. When you find someone's remains washed down a river, how do you know where they came from?
And we also overheard that whatever fatality numbers you are hearing, and this is a quote, go ahead and add a couple of zeros.
What are the states in the storm zone? What do they need after what you saw today?
Oh, in the storm zone?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about. They're getting everything they need. They're very happy.
America, the only person that has been here for the state of North Carolina has been Mark Robinson. Every organization is shutting us down. Everywhere we turn, they're putting chains on our supplies. They're stopping our pilots. This is all citizen done. None of this has come from any organization. FEMA has never shown their faces to us. We've got no funds. All of these pilots have been out here. We flew over 400 flights yesterday, and the pilots paid for the gas themselves.
Back to the mountains, where remarkable stories of survival are now being shared days after Helene wreaked havoc in North Carolina. But one Pageland man's efforts to help are now the source of controversy. He flew his own chopper on his own dime to help stranded victims, but that man says he abandoned his rescue missions after a fire official threatened to have him thrown in jail.
But now you're getting the reports from people saying that they're threatened to get arrested if they fly in or if they do any drop zone stuff. They're threatening truck drivers with arrest if they try to go in and impede in any way. What they're doing is they're flipping the script and they're calling rescue and relief impeding in government affairs, because the government doesn't have any money and because the government has to go through all the red tape and isn't really saving anybody. It's making them look very bad that citizens are doing it. So that's why they need to, confiscate things, and that's why they need to turn people away.
My broader question to you, I think, is about this misinformation. Do you think this is a time to put falsehoods aside, like the idea that FEMA funds are being redirected to migrants, which is just not true?
Well, it is true that FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security have been spending billions of dollars on migrants.
It's just categorically false. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants.
So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's Emergency Food and Shelter Program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
So I'm going to get direct coordinations with the law enforcement following this because I want to know what their instructions are, but I'm not going to submit through FEMA. I'll tell you that right now. The feds, okay?
Can you talk about what the effort is right now to get to some of those hard-hit areas and what the timeline is looking like to reach the people that are in need there right now?
So this is at the President and Vice President's direction and all of government effort. So it's not only by land, but we have deployed air assets. The Department of Defense has been of extraordinary assistance. I don't recall exactly the number of Army Corps of Engineers that have been deployed. I think it's close to 6,000. So it's an all-of-government effort to reach individuals, not just by land.
There is no way in hell the citizens of North Carolina should be paying $50,000 a day for fuel to go rescue their fellow citizens.
Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is sounding the alarm on FEMA funding right after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Listen.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds, FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
When you talk to the people who are directly affected, they will tell you that this has been an abject failure. FEMA has lost sight of its core mission, I think, in so many cases, and the administration has not shown that they were prepared for this this eventuality and this terrible disaster.
The administration seems to have no problem finding money when they want to spend it on their priorities. When they need hundreds of billions of dollars to pay off student loans for graduate students in gender studies programs, they somehow find it. When it's trying to get helicopters to deliver food and water and cellular service and life-saving medicine into these mountain valleys, they somehow can't seem to find the money.